there's this dude. He's jet black. He's a little taller than me. He can outrun everybody. He can outjump everybody. And he's talking the whole time. He said, what's his name? I said, his name is Michael Jordan. I was a coach. I ain't never seen anything like it. Because Michael's a little taller than me. I can say, he's mentally tough, man. And he could outrun everybody and outjump everybody. I said, damn, coach. I said, coach, I ain't never seen anything like it. But I said, coach, I'm not the best. There's this crazy dude from North Carolina who, hey, hey, he's kicking your and telling you he's kicking. There's nothing you can do about it.
The unshakable truth from those who faced him. There are testimonies that carry more weight than any stat sheet, more power than any highlight reel replayed on YouTube. They are the words of the very men who once stepped onto the court, stared directly into Michael Jordan's eyes, and realized that while they shared the same era, they did not share the same universe. Charles Barkley, the Phoenix Suns legend, one of the fiercest and most confident players of the 1992nd, told a story that still makes people shiver. Barkley was never short on belief in himself. He once declared to his teammates,
I said, I told you guys I'm the best player in the world. We're going to the finals, but y'all got to rise up with me.
I'm the best player in the world. We're going to the finals, and I'll prove it against the Chicago Bulls. But when Barkley and the Suns faced Jordan at his peak, that illusion shattered instantly. Barkley admitted, Michael sent me a message that night. He wanted me to know that he was better than me, and that his team was better than ours, and I understood. This was Barkley, the 1993 MVP, one of the strongest men of his generation. Openly confessing that Jordan was operating on a completely different level, the story doesn't end there. Go back to 1984 at the Olympic trials. Hundreds of the best young American players gathered, more than 50 of them would go on to become Hall of Famers. They were the brightest talents of their generation. Barkley was told by the coach he was the second best player in the entire camp. And who stood above him? A skinny kid from North Carolina, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Picture it. In a forest of future legends, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, names that would echo through basketball history, Barkley still had to say, I had never seen anyone like Jordan. He could outrun everybody, outjump everybody, and mentally he was tougher than anyone. He didn't just play. He told you to your face, I'm going to destroy you. And then he actually did it. And remember, this was before Jordan entered the NBA, before he won a single title, before Air Jordan became a global icon. Even then, those who faced him already knew. This guy is a monster. He's going to change the game. And Barkley wasn't alone. Many legends of that era, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, even fierce rivals like Isaiah Thomas, confessed there was something different, something terrifying about facing Jordan. Larry Bird, after witnessing Jordan's 63-point explosion in the 1986 playoffs, said it best. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. These testimonies carry a value that no statistical chart ever could. Numbers can be compared, padded, stretched across long careers. But the fear, awe, and devastation of facing Jordan in real time that can never be fabricated. It's etched permanently into the memories of those who were there. And it is they, not fans, not journalists, who confirm the undeniable truth. Jordan is the very definition of greatness.
And Ernest says, LeBron passes somebody. He's only 40 games behind Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games. And I says, can you repeat that? I says, wait, he already passed Kareem. And I says, he's what? He's 35 games behind Michael for the most 30-point game. And he's played like 7 or 8 years longer. I says, I ain't never gonna shade LeBron. I love LeBron. He's a good dude. He's a great, great player. But to not have passed Michael in 30-point games, and he's played, I think he's on year 20, right? And and I think I said that's an incredible stat that he's still behind Michael and he's played 7 years longer.
Jordan, supreme efficiency. LeBron, the numbers collector. In sports, there are numbers that dazzle the world. But peel back the curtain, and the truth emerges colder, sharper, more ruthless than any dunk. In early 2025, LeBron James finally passed Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games in the regular season, 563 to 562. A flashy milestone, a headline-grabbing moment. But behind that glitter lies a chilling reality that shakes the very core of basketball. To reach 563 games, LeBron needed over 1,500 appearances, grinding across 2 decades. Jordan? He nearly matched it in just 1,072 games. Barely 15 seasons. One man spent a lifetime stacking bricks, carefully building a wall of stats. The other was a hurricane, tearing through everything in sight in a short, violent storm that history could never forget. LeBron is a drizzle, persistent, steady, falling day after day until the ground is wet. Jordan? He is thunder splitting the sky, a storm exploding without warning, leveling everything in an instant. And when the clouds part and the sun returns, the world still stands frozen, trembling in the aftershock. That is why 563 isn't proof that LeBron surpassed Jordan. Quite the opposite. It etches even deeper the truth. Jordan reached that level of devastation faster, fiercer, more efficiently than anyone who ever touched a basketball. This is the line between an immortal legend and a man respected for his durability. And the story doesn't end there. Zoom out to their entire careers, and the gap only grows wider. Jordan claimed 10 scoring titles, a reign of terror unmatched in NBA history. LeBron? Just once in over 20 years. This isn't a stat, it's a declaration. When Jordan took the floor, he wasn't just playing, he was dominating. Now look at the finals. Jordan appeared in 6 and won all 6, with 6 finals MVPs, perfection carved in stone. LeBron? 10 trips, only 4 victories. The other 6, especially the humiliation against the 2011 Mavericks, still cut deep into his legacy. Jordan is undefeated. LeBron is unforgiven. And defense? Jordan wasn't just fire on offense, he was iron on defense. Defensive Player of the Year once, 9x all, defensive first team. LeBron has never touched DPOY. People call LeBron all around, but Jordan was once both the league's deadliest scorer and its most feared defender. That is balance LeBron never achieved. Then there's the crown jewel no one else can replicate. Jordan remains the only player in history to claim regular season MVP, All-Star MVP, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year in one career. A sweep of supremacy eternal in its finality. LeBron's resume is massive, but never that complete. And as their careers closed, Jordan still holds the record for highest career scoring average in NBA history, 30.1 points per game. LeBron, though surpassing everyone in total points, sits at 27. That 3-point gap may look small on paper, but stretched across 15 years, it's the canyon dividing greatness from immortality. So the real question is, what defines the GOAT? Is it sheer longevity, piling up numbers like sand over decades? Or is it the ability to step onto the court and instantly strike fear into every opponent, turn every game into legend, every moment into eternity? LeBron James is the symbol of endurance. Michael Jordan is the embodiment of destruction. And in the annals of sport, people never remember how long the rain lasted. They remember the storm that shattered everything. GOAT has never been about accumulation. GOAT is about efficiency. GOAT is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
The rules have changed. Would you at least admit that?
That's true.
So it's easier to play today.
The blood and iron era versus the red carpet era. There is one truth no GOAT debate can escape: the context of the game. And it's here, in the battlefield of eras, where the chasm between Michael Jordan and LeBron James shakes the ground. Jordan played in an era where the court was a war zone soaked in blood and bruises. When he drove to the basket, he didn't just face defenders, he faced takedowns, body checks, and collisions with men determined to break him. The bad boys Pistons weren't satisfied with stopping Jordan's shots. They wanted to destroy him physically, to make sure every leap carried the memory of pain. Hand-checking? That wasn't a foul. That was the rule. Defenders could grab, push, and steer you with their hands and forearms. In that world, every point Jordan scored was forged out of blood and sweat. Picture the scene. Jordan attacking the rim, Bill Laimbeer throwing his whole body like a brick wall, Rodman crashing down like a hammer, Mahorn delivering a forearm to the chest. Jordan slammed to the floor, only to rise again and attack the very next play. No flagrant two, no video review, no referees rushing in to shield him. This was street warfare disguised as basketball, and Jordan didn't just survive. He ruled it. LeBron, meanwhile, has thrived in an NBA that is the polar opposite. A league rolled out like a red carpet for offensive stars. Hand-checking erased. Contact instantly whistled. Rules rewritten to protect scorers, encourage offense, and neuter physical defense. The terrifying giants of the paint, Olajuwon, Ewing, Robinson, Shaq, are gone. Today's big men float outside the arc, spacing the floor. Modern basketball is a scorer's paradise, where dropping 40 comes without spilling blood. The contrast becomes sharper when you remember. To conquer the Pistons, Jordan had to rebuild his body into steel, adding 15 pounds of muscle just to withstand hits that felt like car crashes. Meanwhile, LeBron, despite his extraordinary physique, plays in a world where a light slap on the arm can send him straight to the free throw line. Even Charles Barkley, who lived through both eras, admitted, "Today's game is easier. If I played under these rules, I'd average 30 points a game." If Barkley says that, then imagine Jordan under today's whistle. No bad boys, no hand check, no bone, crushing giants waiting under the rim. He wouldn't just average 30, he'd average 40, maybe even 45 points per game, and that's no exaggeration. Now flip the script. Put LeBron in the 1992nd, where every drive to the rim meant colliding with a human tank, where referees looked the other way as you were hammered to the floor. Would he still last 20 seasons? Would he still have the numbers he boasts today? Deep down, we all know the answer. LeBron can be proud of his stats, but they cannot erase this truth. He plays in the softest NBA in history. Jordan didn't just have to score, he had to fight for survival, and that difference is the ultimate measure of greatness.
Nobody had shoes that made money until Michael. No guys were doing commercials until Michael. See, the generation now think like, well, everybody got a signature shoe. No. Converse had Michael and Larry, but they were just regular Converse. They didn't have like Air Jordan. Man, this dude has made us and these players so much money. Like LeBron probably makes $100 million from Nike a year. That's because of Michael. Kobe made $100 million. All these guys got different shoes from different companies. So Michael deserves some credit in that aspect too.
The immortal legacy. Jordan as the blueprint for every legend. Michael Jordan was never just a basketball player. He was a cultural icon, a mountain of standards that every generation since has been forced to look up to. Before Jordan, basketball shoes were just equipment. After Jordan, they became symbols. Air Jordan didn't just sell millions of pairs, it redefined the way sports connected with culture. Before Jordan, athlete endorsements were rare, almost secondary. After Jordan, Every NBA star had their own brand. Today, LeBron signs $100 million contracts with Nike. Curry builds an empire with Under Armour. Durant sells through Nike, but none of this would exist without Jordan kicking down the door first. And his legacy isn't confined to sneakers. Jordan transformed the NBA from an American league into a global phenomenon. In 1992, when the Dream Team stepped into Barcelona, the world didn't just see basketball, they saw Jordan. He made the NBA a global religion, an empire of entertainment that stretched far beyond the United States. But Jordan's greatest immortality isn't commercial. It lies in the way he redefined greatness itself. Before Jordan, a player could be dominant, even decorated, but no one embodied an untouchable standard. Jordan did. He set the bar. Efficiency, 30.1 points per game, still the highest in NBA history. Will to win, 6 trips to the finals, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. Killer instinct, never failing in the biggest moments. Every generation after Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, even today's stars like Giannis and Luka, have all admitted they exist in the shadow of Jordan. Kobe once said, "Everything I know, I learned from Michael." LeBron himself confessed, "I'll never be Michael Jordan. I just want to follow my own path." And that is the difference. LeBron, despite his greatness, is always measured against. Jordan never was. When people say GOAT, the first name that explodes into the mind is Michael Jordan. He isn't just part of the debate, he is the reason the debate exists. That is true immortality. When you are not only better than others, but you become the standard by which all others are judged, you have crossed beyond sports and into legend. Michael Jordan didn't need 20 years to prove himself. He needed one blazing decade to make the world tremble. Not just the GOAT of the NBA, Jordan is the GOAT of all GOATs. Thunder that still echoes across the history of sport.